Hello, here we are again. The Lord has been sharing with me some things, and I'm not going to go deep into it or teach it. I'm just going to throw it out there for some thought. We're talking about a big revival coming, and what comes along with that revival. And it's not only the souls being saved, but it's also the earth being saved and the creation of receiving salvation of the Lord. In Isaiah, and this is what the Lord's been sharing with me. Like I say, I don't want to go into a long teaching on this or anything. I'm just throwing it up there so you can think about it. Because of the beauty of this time that we're coming in, the fullness of this time, and what we're going to be doing this time, but also what everything else is going to be. Now, there's going to be darkness on the earth during that time, and there's going to be light on the earth during that time. There's going to be those that won't be blessed. There's going to be those that will be blessed. Those that follow God and receive Jesus Christ as Savior will be blessed. Those that don't will stay in darkness and will reap darkness. They'll have the curse on them, and those that follow Jesus Christ will have the blessing on them. It's just that simple. It says, "Don't let not God be mocked. The seed time and harvest." So what you plant is what you'll get. If you plant bad, you'll get bad. If you plant good, you'll get good. And that's all the way through. That's all the way. That started in Genesis, and that's worked all the way through. And then those that plant good seed get good results. Those that plant bad seed get bad results. Well, I don't know why. My whole family's had cancer and everything. You better look into it. You better look into it, because that's not the blessing of God. And if you're walking in negativeness, you're walking in fear, and I see people all the time walk in fear, and you get talking to them, well, they watch the news. They're scared to death. They watch the news. They watch things on their TV that scare them to death. And they're scared to answer the door. Quit watching that junk. It's real easy, Walk with God. And at this time, we're called to walk with God. Now I'm talking to you that have been called to walk in the Spirit. I'm talking to you that are called of God. And that's mostly what I'm talking about, is those that have been called to walk in a higher place, not just Jacob, but been called to walk in Israel. That's the ones I've been called. That's the ones I'm talking to. Those that have been called for this very hour. But I want to share something with you. During this time of blessing and curse, this is going to be on the earth. It says, "And the fox also shall dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the kid, and the calf and the young lion, and the fattenings together, and the little children shall lead them." That's quite a blessing, isn't it? and that's Isaiah 11, and down about the middle of it. And here you got Hosea. He's a Mexican back there in Israel. Hosea. And there's a lot of Mexicans. I don't know how many that's going to heaven. A whole lot of them. But and I don't want to make that statement. But I don't know if they're in Israel or not. Anyway, here's a statement from the Lord. It's in Hosea 2:18. And it says, "And in that day will I make a covenant for them that with the beast of the field, and with the fowl of the heaven, and with the creeping things of the ground, and I will break the bow and the sword and the battle out of the earth, and I will make them to lie down safely." So he's going to bless people. He's going to have cows and them lie down. He's going to have the creeping things on the earth and all that. Everything's going to change. Everything's going to change. He told me at one point, he said, "Those that follow me, the ground will produce like it was meant to." right now because of sin, even with all of our fertilizer and everything else, not producing near as much as it should. But when we walk in the blessings of God, all of a sudden we're going to have an abundance. Now, them nations that don't, and them people that don't follow God, they aren't going to have abundance. They're going to be just like they are right now. Just like China can't feed their people because they got to go get it someplace else. Why? Well, look at the government. You look all the way around the world. Look at where demon worship comes from. Look who is worshiping, and look at the countries what they're producing. And that's the way it is. Okay, I want to read you prophecy the Lord gave me. I've got a couple of them here. It says, to him that is a son, for by my name you have taken on sonship, and in my blood you will stand, and by my word you will live, and by love you will preach and tell the world who and what I am, and set them free by my anointings. So walk in the Spirit at all times, and by my glory on you they will know that you are from me. And at that time all people will know sons and daughters of God by my glory that abides on them. So the glory of God is going to abide on them. The glory of God is the presence of God with you. That's what the glory is. The glory was over the temple in the wilderness. And Moses can walk into that, get close to that temple. The glory of God would come on that temple in the wilderness, that tent. And the glory of God would be there. And you can sense it, you can feel it. When the glory comes in, sometimes it'll come in real thick, and sometimes it comes in different ways. But you always know the glory is there because you can sense the presence of God. You'll hear somebody say, I think the glory is in this place. You can sense the presence of God. It's different than sensing the Holy Spirit when you're just walking along. It's different than sensing the presence of Jesus. But the glory is a thicker thing, a thicker presence. And that's what we're looking forward to. We're looking forward to walking that type of thing. And them that are called now are going to walk in that people haven't ever walked in. I say never. There's been spots of it throughout history, but I'm talking about a mass of people. It's not going to be 2 or 3 here, 2 or 3 there. It's going to be a mass of people, just like people going into heaven. People are going to find out how to get there, and they're going to go there. There's people right now going all the time. I've been called up myself, and I will go. For some reason or another, the Lord told me He wanted me up there, and I'm working on it. I'm slow at this stuff. I'm only 82 years old. I mean, I still got a long time to go, right? The promise is 120. Man, that gives me almost 40 years. 38 to be exact, but I plan on living to be 130, so it gives me a lot more than that. Well, who do you think you are? I think I'm the Son of God. I think I'm one of them. Okay, here's another prophecy. Due to the blood, all of you have life, for the life is in the blood. And without the shedding of the blood, Jesus shed that blood. Without the shedding of the blood, there would not be life. And through my blood, for each of the salvations that you have, in communion, there would not be salvation of the soul, body, and spirit. All is out of my blood. He shed his body and he shed his blood for you. And you wouldn't have salvation of the soul, spirit, and body without the shedding of blood. It wouldn't be there. And through my blood you have the Father's DNA. And who else can say that but the child of the living God? And now you are redeemed by the blood. And blood does a lot, don't it? To act and walk and look like me on earth. And by my blood we have the blood covenant. That whatever you need, I have, and what I want, you have. That's the covenant we have with him. Whatever I need, he'll give us. Whatever he needs, we'll give him. And this covenant cannot be broken. You just can't break it by misplacing or misstepping or something like that. You have to turn around and walk completely away from, lose your salvation in order to walk away from that blood covenant. It's not something you just drop by being stupid one day. So wherever you go, take with you my blood and walk in it and under it, where there is only my life. For without my blood, there is no life. That's what he told me this morning. And at 4:07, he told me that. God likes to get up early. He likes me to get up early. I don't know about this. It seems like he does that to people. There's some people that like sleeping in. I don't anymore. I don't sleep in. I haven't slept in years and years and years. Here's another prophecy. This was at 4:20. That was at 4:07. This is at 4:20 this morning. A time such as this is come, and who can abide in it? Those that are my sons and daughters, for all will know them. They will have my mark on them, and that will be light. For they will go forth to light a dark world, and everywhere they go will hear the truth and shed the light of my word. And that truth will lighten up all that will receive what they say. And those that will not receive the light will remain in darkness. And all creation will respond to that light and react. And what a time this is. For I will be on display in the supernatural. God himself will be on display in the supernatural. He's going to work through us and be on display in the supernatural. Isn't that awesome, isn't it? I believe that like I said before, and you're probably tired of me saying it, I can't wait for it to get started. It's beginning right now. And after this time of judgment, there's a judgment coming. There's a judgment coming to the world. There's a judgment coming to the church. And after this time of judgment, which I hope is only a few months down the road here, after this time of judgment, because you're starting to see it crumble now already all over the world. You're starting to see it crumble. You're starting to see the lies being revealed. You're starting to see people throwing out all of us. You're starting to see these things take place. And he's prophesied it now for, a year and a half, 2 years. He prophesied this would come. And here it is upon it. So I think what I'm ministering now, on the other side of that, it'll just start snowballing. This stuff will start snowballing. You'll begin to see this stuff. And as we pull in more and more converts, some of them will be called into fivefold ministry. Some of them will be called into going out and saving souls. Everybody has the ministry of conciliation. Everybody has that ministry. We can that everybody's sharing Christ with people. Everybody has that. But I'm talking about going out and preaching and ministering and doing those things. But everybody can share Christ. That's up to everybody to do that. And then you're going to see wonders and miracles right here in your own homes. People are going to have, they're going to have church meetings, but they're going to have their friends and their family. The family is going to be the church. The family is going to be the church. Not only your little group of Italians and Portuguese and Germans and Scots, not only that family that you have in your blood relationship, but you're going to have that bigger blood relationship in the church. And we're not going to have what's going on now necessarily. It's going to be we're coming into the likeness of God. All right, get ready, get prepared. Hold on, baby. We're going to fly high.